Welcome, YouTubers, and welcome to another segment of Elephants in the Room. I'm your host, Bo Coleman, and please hit your subscribes and likes. That'll be much appreciated. Hey, today we're going to talk about a subject that's pretty sad. It's about a couple in Mississippi that was a married couple by the name of Jeremy and Janelle Brown, who seemingly, I guess, your average couple, young couple with kids. They're raising kids together. They're having differences. But this one is a very tragic one because this happened on Facebook Live. This woman actually recorded herself killing her husband on Facebook Live. Yeah. So I don't know if you're into Facebook or not. I am. Now I did watch a segment of it, but I couldn't watch it all. I couldn't watch the part where he was being killed because for one thing, he was being killed in front of his kids. They had four kids together, and apparently this was over. Uh, Apparently him not coming home or him not cooking dinner for the kids or something like that. But in the background, you could hear, before he became involved, you can hear the mother of the shooter and the shooter talking. The mother's kind of egging this thing on, like, yeah, he's got to go. These kids are hungry and this and that. And when you're watching, you got the mother in a house robe. I'm wondering, is she living there? Is this their house or her house or what? I don't know. But she had her nose all in their business. I can tell you that. And she's egging her daughter on instead of saying to the daughter, hey, calm down, put down the gun, we'll sit here and we'll talk about it, or just leave. Well, apparently the husband comes in and the argument starts to escalate. Now, he's not arguing. He was just saying, hey, I just want to leave. I'm getting ready for work. He's on the phone talking to what they say was a female cousin for her to come get him and take him to work. And she's still arguing about how come the kids aren't fed, how come you don't have food in the house, and this and that. And this is all going on in front of her kids. And as I mentioned before, the mother-in-law is egging this whole thing on. And she actually, so he's attempting to leave. He's not really involved in the argument himself. He's saying, hey, I don't want anything to do with that. I'm leaving the house, which is what you're supposed to do. When you're in a heated discussion, if you can leave, leave before anything escalates. But she was determined to escalate it. And fast forward, in the midst of it, at some point, she pulls a gun, points at this man on Facebook Live, shoots and kills him. Then all of a sudden she changes. Now she's crying, saying she didn't mean to do it. Oh, she didn't know the gun was loaded. But if you're like me, I'm an ex-military person, and we know when you shoot a gun, when you point a gun at someone, you never point a gun unless you intend to use it. And if you didn't know there wasn't something in the chamber, why did you pull the trigger? And why did you do it in front of your kids? And according to police records, they've have called in for domestic incidents on this family before. It doesn't say whether or not who was the aggressor, if she was the aggressor, if he was the aggressor, I don't know. But in my opinion, more than likely she was the aggressor because she didn't come across as someone who is a domestic violence person who's been domestically abused. Because she was very bold in her statements. In fact, I'm willing to bet he's the one who's been domestically abused. And I don't know, but maybe this will all come out. But what I do know that at the moment that she killed this innocent man, he wasn't abusing her. He was trying to leave the situation. And when these things happen, particularly when it happens to men, first thing I think of, where are the Me Too people? Where are the people that say, hey, keep your hands to yourself, all these women? Why don't you say this to the women who are doing this to the men? Because men get abused all the time. And I'm being a single man. I love being single. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to come home to that kind of behavior. Because let's face it, today's women's not like the women of your mother or your grandmother, who showed love and compassion, who wanted to make a household work. No, these women today are just very selfish into themselves. Not all, I'm saying all of them are this way, but certainly this one was. If you look at her, it's all about her. So let me hear what you think. Do you think this woman should get life in prison, which I do, and she probably will because she wasn't smart enough to even do it off the camera. She did it on Facebook Live. So I think this is a no-brainer. I don't think she should even go to court. I think she just take a plea deal, if they give her one, and count her losses because there's no way she can get away with this one because she was not being abused. Okay. Now, I know I sound a little compassionate about it, but this angers me because now you've taken away a son from his father and mother. You've taken away a brother from his brothers and sisters. And more importantly, you've taken away a father from his sons and daughters. You're not going to raise these kids now because you're going to be in prison. Who are you going to leave them with? Your mother-in-law who's the instigator of all this? I wouldn't. In fact, I think she should be charged as well. But we don't know. I don't. We'll see. But I tell you what, I'm going to follow this, and I'm going to keep you informed on everything that happens in this case because this is one I don't want to see go away. Anyway, here's a good look at them. There's the husband right there, nice looking gentleman. And there she is. Of course, that's that's a prison shot of her, a police shot of her. But I can tell by looking at her. It wouldn't be somebody I want to be married to. But anyways, let me see what your opinions are. Give your likes and dislikes. As we always say here in Elephants in the Room, there are no wrong or right answers, just opinions. Hey, I love you. Stay in touch.